Good morning. I'm delighted to be here and to interview a representative of the Saudi Arabian Society for Interventional Cardiology, who is Khaled Al-Shaibi, then the chairman of this session and the president of the Italian Society of Interventional Cardiology, Giuseppe Tarantini, and the speaker of this session, Rasha Al-Bawardy. So I would like to start with Khaled, and I would like to ask you if you could give a glimpse on the structural program in your country. So which are the perspectives and how many centers performs today structural intervention in your country? Please, Khaled.
Yes, the structural intervention started in Saudi Arabia around 2010, 2011 with initially, at least as far as TAVI is concerned, with one center in Riyadh. This was followed over the past 9 years with the development of an increasing number of centers both in Riyadh, on the west coast in Jeddah and Medina, as well as the eastern province. Currently we have around 12 centers that offer advanced structural interventions, including transcatheter heart valve implantations, mitral clip procedures, as well as the regular stuff that we've been doing for many, many years, mitral valvuloplasties and pulmonary valvuloplasties. We have high incidence of rheumatic heart disease in Saudi Arabia, so one of the earliest interventions we've been doing for over 20 years is mitral valvuloplasty. But TAVI around since 2010, and at my center since late 2012.
That's impressive. Thanks so much. And I would move now to Giuseppe. I would like to ask him what's the role of the scientific society in the structural intervention program, if you do have a national registry. So please, Giuseppe, go ahead.
Okay. So the situation in Italy is like that. We started with the program in 2006, and since then, we are collecting all the data in all the region. Our nation has more or less 60 million people, and in the past 8 years, we have witnessed a tenfold increase in the number of TAVI implanted. The last year, in 2018, was about 7,000 patients. That means it's a rate of that is above 80 per million, more or less. That is a little bit less than Germany and France, but it's, everything is going in the right direction. We have to consider that our welfare is free, so it's not private. So I think it's a great achievement. The second point is the position of our society. We have created, I think it's one of the first in Europe, a second release of a TAVI document that goes into details of all the specific of the rooms, the peoples that have to work and do the procedure, the standards to make a very safe procedure. There is also the guidelines of the flow of the heart team and the way to go into to reduce the complication, etc. And this is important to standardize throughout the country, in the same direction, the way we tackle the patient with severe symptomatic aortic stenosis. The last things that I would like to share with you is that we have 2 national registries that are supported by the Minister of Health. The name are Observant 1, Observant 2. That will deal about what happened for all the patients treated both with TAVR or SAVR in our nation. So we have a full of data that tell us what we're doing. What is interesting is that before American College in 2019, whatever is the risk of the patient in Italy, the vast majority, I'd say 95%, are older than 8 years old. So the real unmet clinical need now to understand if the TAVI works in patients younger, etc. What is the sequence in terms of coronary access, TAVI in TAVI, and other things like that.
Thanks so much, Giuseppe, for having led this terrific session. And I would move now to Rasha, who was a presenter in this session, and she gave a talk. She actually introduces some very interesting cases. So, Rasha, what's your impression of this shared session between Italy and Saudi Arabia, please?
Thank you. So it's been a great pleasure to be here today and share a stage with both Dr. Khaled and Dr. Giuseppe. They're amazing as majority of the people too in the room to share their thoughts. It's my first time in EuroPCR, so overall the conference, my impression of the conference has been great. I've been to a lot of U.S. conferences where it's also international, but I feel like being in the center of Europe makes it easier for people to come in from all over the world and share their experiences. As far as the session itself, it was really great to share what other people have been doing, coming up with solutions, coming up with other alternative things that you could have done in the cases. So I learned a lot from everyone, from everyone who commented on all of these cases. So it's been overall a great experience.